The story of Heat begins with a meticulously planned heist that immediately draws us into the high-stakes world of professional criminals. Neil McCauley, a career criminal who leads a tight-knit crew, executes a precision ambush on an armored truck. His team includes Chris Shiherlis, Michael Chirito, and a new recruit, Waingro. The heist is going smoothly until Waingro, impulsive and violent, kills one of the guards, forcing the crew to eliminate all witnesses. This single rash action sets off a chain of events that reverberates throughout the rest of the film. Enter Lieutenant Vincent Hanna, a seasoned LAPD detective with an unrelenting drive to catch criminals. He is immediately drawn to the armored truck heist, recognizing it as the work of professionals. Hanna is a complex character, brilliant at his job but struggling with a crumbling personal life. His third marriage to Justine is on the verge of collapse due to his obsession with work. Despite the personal turmoil, Hanna's dedication to his job remains unwavering, showcasing the sacrifices he makes for his duty. Neil McCauley's life is governed by a strict code. Never get attached to anything you can't walk out on in 30 seconds flat if you feel the heat around the corner. This code has kept him alive and out of prison, but it also leaves him isolated. However, this isolation begins to crack when McCauley meets Edie, a graphic designer who unknowingly becomes involved with him. Edie represents a chance for a normal life, something McCauley has long denied himself. This budding relationship introduces significant internal conflict as McCauley grapples with his desire for connection and his commitment to his survival code. Meanwhile, Vincent Hanna's personal life continues to fall apart. His wife, Justine, feels neglected, and his stepdaughter, Lauren, struggles with feelings of abandonment. Hanna's inability to separate work from home life becomes a central theme, highlighting the emotional toll his relentless pursuit of criminals takes on his family. This adds depth to Hanna's character, showing him not just as a detective, but as a man torn between his duty and the need for a stable home life. Chris Shiherlis, McCauley's right-hand man, has his own struggles. His marriage to Charlene is under severe strain due to his gambling addiction. Charlene, though initially supportive, becomes increasingly frustrated with Chris's inability to quit gambling and his dangerous lifestyle. This subplot adds a layer of realism, showing how the life of crime affects not just the criminals, but their families as well. Chris is depicted as a man trying to hold on to his family while being drawn deeper into the criminal world. As Hanna and his team intensify their investigation, they start to close in on McCauley's crew. Hanna's sharp instincts lead him to suspect that the crew is planning something bigger, prompting him to order round-the-clock surveillance. The tension escalates as the police team inches closer to uncovering McCauley's next move. The story becomes a battle of wits between McCauley and Hanna, each respecting the other's abilities, yet knowing they are on a collision course. McCauley and his crew begin planning their next big score, a bank robbery that promises a massive payoff. McCauley's meticulous nature is evident as he plans every detail, aware that the police are watching but confident in his ability to outmaneuver them. The stakes are high, with the crew knowing that any mistake could lead to capture or death. The tension builds as the audience realizes that a final showdown between McCauley and Hanna is inevitable. In a brilliantly crafted scene, McCauley and Hanna meet face-to-face in a diner. This iconic moment showcases the mutual respect between the two men. They are mirror images of each other, both driven, both isolated, both the best at what they do. Their conversation is calm but charged with tension, as they acknowledge that their paths are on a collision course. This meeting encapsulates the central theme of duality in the film, setting the stage for the inevitable conflict. As the story unfolds, Waingro, the loose cannon of McCauley's crew, becomes a significant threat. His unpredictable nature and desire for revenge lead him to make reckless decisions that jeopardize McCauley's operations. Waingro represents the chaos that can disrupt even the most carefully laid plans, and his actions create complications for both McCauley and the police investigation. The tension and heat peaks as McCauley and his crew prepare for the bank robbery. The detailed planning and execution of the heist highlight McCauley's leadership and the crew's ability to work as a unit. However, the police are just one step behind, with Hanna leading the charge. The heist is a masterclass in building suspense, with every moment filled with the potential for things to go wrong. The aftermath is chaotic and violent, with casualties on both sides, but the story halts before the final confrontation, keeping the viewer on edge. After the heist, the characters are left to deal with the consequences. Macaulay, usually composed, begins to unravel as his life spirals out of control. His relationship with Edie becomes a focal point as he contemplates abandoning his code for the possibility of a future with her. This internal struggle is central to Macaulay's character development as he faces the ultimate question of whether he can change or is doomed to repeat the same cycle. Hannah is also facing his own personal demons. The strain of the case further damages his relationship with Justine, leading to a heartbreaking confrontation. Justine accuses Hannah of being more committed to his job than to his family, leaving no room for her or Lauren in his life. This scene is poignant, showing Hannah's realization that his obsession with his work has cost him dearly in his personal life. Yet despite this, Hannah remains committed to bringing Macaulay to justice, even as his personal life crumbles. As the film approaches its climax, attention shifts back to the supporting characters. Chris Shiherlis, now separated from Charlene, is on the run after the heist. His desperation is palpable as he tries to find a way out. But his loyalty to Macaulay keeps him tied to the crew. Charlene, despite her frustration with Chris, faces a tough decision when the police press her to betray him. This subplot adds emotional depth, showing the human cost of a life of crime. The film also explores the fate of Michael Chirito, a man deeply committed to his family but equally loyal to the criminal code. His storyline underscores the theme of loyalty versus survival as he faces the consequences of his choices. The tension continues to build as all the characters are pushed to their limits, leading to the film's intense final act. In the final build-up to the climax, Waingro's actions return to haunt Macaulay, leading to a series of confrontations that push the tension to its peak. Macaulay, who has always been in control, is now forced to react to the chaos that Waingro has unleashed. The narrative pulls together all the threads, ensuring that viewers remain fully engaged. Heat is a masterful exploration of the thin line between law and criminality, where both the hunter and the hunted are driven by their obsessions. The film's intense character studies and high-stakes confrontations build to a riveting climax that leaves a lasting impact. Through its meticulous storytelling, Heat delves into themes of loyalty, sacrifice, and the cost of living by an uncompromising code. The final scenes, though not shown, promise a powerful resolution to this gripping tale. The film ultimately serves as a compelling study of two men whose lives are more alike than they would ever admit.